The youth island is an island just outside Copenhagen here in Øresund, between Denmark and Sweden. Yeah. It's a place for democratic engagement of the youth in Denmark, broadly speaking, and it's a project that we supported. It actually started in 2015, and then it started with buying the island, which was a former fortress in the defense of Copenhagen many years ago, and it was for sale. And the Scouts Association of Denmark, they came to us and asked us if we wanted to help them buy the island, so that they could use it for scouting and gathering scouts from all over Denmark and also internationally. And we said that's an interesting idea also because the island was protected in so many archaeological and historical ways that it was also sense of community spirit to that a foundation bought it for a non-profit purpose. And we gathered up with another Danish foundation called the A.P. Møller Mærsk Foundation, and we split 50-50 and bought the island for the Scouts Association. And then in the process of developing the content of what was going to happen on the island, it became clear both for us and the Scouts Association that it shouldn't be an island for scouts, it should be an island for all the youth of Denmark, to try to create a space for them, by them, and with them, the young people. So that's the mission today, that it's a place you can go and do all kinds of activities to learn to engage yourself in democratic development, or also to learn to speak up and get more self-confidence when you are a member of some kind of organization. It's typical youth organizations of different kinds that goes to the island to have this 1 or 2 days with all kinds of activities that helps the participants to become more outspoken. Yes, after we bought the island, there was a lot of renovation projects going on, and we have spent maybe I think we have spent around 40 million euros until now to get the island to be usable for the purpose, and so that you can also sleep over and you can do all kinds of things, redoing the hangars to conference rooms, and redoing the rocket launches to outdoor sleeping things, and all kinds of things. So the renovation process were 4 years until the youth island opened in 2019, and then it was moving ahead for half a year, and then the pandemic stroke, and then there was, of course, a lot of issues with that. But that also helped the people behind the youth island, all the young people who are running it in the non-profit organization that they have created. It also helped them to think out of the box and create. In that period they created, satellites around the countries that they also called the youth island, in cities around the country, where the young people could meet and engage themselves. And then afterwards, in some far future after the pandemic, could go to the youth island. And then when it came up to speed after the pandemic in 2021, it has been a very large success with over 70,000 participants in all kinds of activities. We have a strategic focus area called the making of children and youth, and the creating good opportunities for children and youth and for new families. And in that area, in that sense of focus, we see the Youth Island as a very nice concrete example of creating a platform for young people to engage themselves. And it has also become quite a signature project for us. It's a lot of, there's a lot of hard work behind it, but it's also kind of a lucky strike. That it actually that the people behind it, all the engaged people, actually managed to come through all these challenges in the pandemic. And for us, it's so nice to have this project in our bag. When we did the new updated strategy for grants that we are working with now, the ESG issue was coming into everybody's minds and everybody's mindset, and we decided to not do a specific ESG focus area, but decided to do ESG aspects into all the projects that we are supporting. And to do that in the right way and in the most effective way, we are at the moment putting the last pieces of the puzzle into a big framework where we do advisory work for the projects and for the project managers on the ESGs, how they are going to implement the ESGs in their projects and in their organizational framework, so that it's not us that are demanding them to do so, but we are advising them how to, and then they make all the decisions themselves. We are going to launch this advisory service in January 2023. The best advice that I can give is to take all three letters into account, because there is a tendency that we stop with the E, and that's what do all the legitimize our work, but it's not. It's just as much the social and the governance thematics that is giving the foundation the best platform to work on, and I think it's the issue is a little bit that the S dimension, the social dimension, has been a thing that we have just been doing, and it has been so always, but to put that into a framework where you can actually toolifies it like you can with the E, that's an interesting thing, and we have things in motion, and the advisory set up in motion on the E and the S now, and the next thing that we are doing is moving to the G and also be very focused on advising, but also having demands on how the organizations that we are supporting should work with the governance thematics. And then the main thing, the thing before all this nice stuff, is that you have to do it yourself too. You cannot advise people or demand things from people if you are not on forehand, if you are not a front runner yourself. So we have done a lot of things in our own organization to be in front of the issues that we are working with towards the grantees. I think that the Nordic philanthropy is, if you should put it in one sentence, is that it's pragmatic. The way that the Nordic foundations are working is tending more towards that we are able to catalyze or make small, changes to bigger issues in society that can catalyze a movement, instead of us telling people that we can save the world. And that's what I mean when I say pragmatic. We are. I think that we have been on a journey where, in general, in the foundations, and I can of course only speak for the Nordea foundations, but I can look at the general picture, and the general picture is that we have been on a journey where we focus our strategies more, and at the same time being more pragmatic of what kind of changes that we can initialize.